In this video, we will show you how to replace the battery of your Xiaomi POCO X3 NFC. The battery replacement of the POCO X3 NFC is simple. Via adhesive tabs, the battery can be easily removed from the bottom of the screen unit. Allow about 60 minutes for the repair. You will need the following tools. Additionally, these tools can be helpful. You can find all tools and an original Xiaomi replacement battery in our online store at iDoc.eu. We've put the links in the info box. Switch off your Xiaomi POCO X3 NFC before the repair to avoid potential short circuits. To do so, press and hold the power button until a menu is displayed. Tap on Power Off. Your smartphone will now shut down within a few seconds. The POCO X3 NFC is opened via the back cover. It is made of plastic and is strongly glued. Note that your phone is no longer waterproof after opening it. To open it, you first have to heat the glue of the back cover. Run a hot air device, such as a hairdryer, evenly over the back cover's edge for a few minutes. Once the adhesive has warmed up sufficiently, you can apply a suction cup and pull it upwards to create a narrow gap between the back cover and the screen unit. Insert a flat, stable tool to widen the gap. We can recommend the iFlex for this, as its sharp edges make it particularly easy to insert. However, since you can also quickly scratch something with the sharp edges of the iFlex, you should switch to a plastic tool, such as the iPlastics, as soon as possible. Run the tool along the edges of the back cover and detach it piece by piece from the rest of the case. Place flat plastic picks in the loosened areas at regular intervals to prevent the glue from rebonding. Once the back cover is completely detached, remove it and set it aside. The next step is to unscrew the 11 Phillips screws from the plastic cover that is hooked over the motherboard. Use a spatula to carefully release it from its guide. Notches on the edge of the cover show you where to place your tool. In order not to accidentally cut off the camera module at the same time, you should push it down when removing the cover. Once the plastic cover is removed, the battery can be separated from the motherboard. To avoid short circuits during the repair, you should always disconnect the battery as soon as possible. To do so, carefully lever it off the motherboard with a spatula. Then disconnect the fingerprint sensor in the same way. It is located right next to the battery connector. Next, the speaker has to be removed. Loosen the 7 Phillips screws. Then carefully lever it out of its guide with a spatula and put it aside. Now both connectors of the connecting cable are exposed. Carefully separate them both from the mother and the USB board with a spatula. Then take the disconnected cable out of the device. The battery of the Xiaomi POCO X3 NFC is attached to the screen unit with an adhesive film. The film can be pulled out from underneath the battery via 3 adhesive tabs. Peel off the tabs from the battery's surface first. Then pull the tabs outward. This allows the battery to be removed without the use of heat. However, the remaining adhesive film should be heated in order to remove it without damage. Run a steel spatula underneath the film and remove it bit by bit from the case bottom. You can find an original Xiaomi replacement battery and the appropriate tools for this repair in our online store at iDoc.eu. Before you insert the replacement battery, you have to remove all protective films and possibly bend the battery connector in the right direction. Then place it in the guide in the screen unit and press it firmly. Position the connecting cable over the battery. The labeling on the cable will help you with the correct alignment. Reconnect the cable by pressing its two connectors carefully onto the respective board. You should hear and feel them click into place. Be especially careful when attaching connectors and never press them down with force. Damage can lead to the failure of an entire component. Now put the speaker back in place. You have to hook its small lugs into the frame of the screen unit so that it sits evenly. You can then screw the speaker back in place. Press the connector of the fingerprint sensor back onto the motherboard. Then also the battery connector. You should always connect the battery last to avoid a potential short circuit. Finally, put the motherboard cover back in place. Its lugs have to be hooked into the case frame so that it sits evenly. Finally, fix it with the 11 Phillips screws. Before you close your Xiaomi for good, we recommend testing the replacement battery. Connect a charging cable to see if your smartphone charges. With the help of our checklist, you can test other basic functions to make sure that your repair was successful. We link it to you in the info box. If something does not work properly, check again if all components are connected and screwed correctly. If everything is okay, you can glue the back cover again. If the adhesive frame is still in good condition, you can simply reuse it. In our video, Reseal Your Smartphone Correctly, we show you how to remove the adhesive frame and attach a new one, using the iPhone 12 as an example. Align the back cover over the screen unit and press it firmly along the frame. It should sit evenly everywhere. To make the adhesive bond properly again, you should briefly warm up the edges of the back cover and weigh it down for a few minutes. You did it! Your Xiaomi POCO X3 NFC is now back to full battery power. If this tutorial helped you, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. See you next time!
Bis zum nächsten Mal.
You can find high-quality tools, spare parts and accessories in our online store. iDoc. Everything for your smartphone. Find more helpful videos here.